YouTube, in today's tutorial we are going to be doing a clean taper into his short curls. So I'm going to take you guys through it step by step. Let's get it. Man, YouTube, what is good? I know it's been a minute since I've been on here. I apologize for the delay. Life's gotten busy, man, especially with the daughter, but we are right back into it with our lever closed. And we're establishing this line a little below the bottom of the ear. And then we're going to come in lever all the way open right above that, still maintaining that same shape. Now to get rid of that line in between the lever closed and lever open, we're going to go lever halfway. And we're just going to tap at that line and gradually start to get rid of it. And then right there you see me closed up that lever even more until we get this line as blended out as possible. And now right above that we're going to come in with our one guard open, doing the same exact thing, going up about a finger's width. And we're staying real patient, real consistent here, letting the clipper do the work. Now to lighten up that line in between, I'm going to come in lever close with my one guard, which I just showed you right here. And we're not going all the way to the top of this line, we're staying right below it. Little by little, step by step. Now to get rid of that line fully, I'm going to come in with my half guard halfway and tap at this line a little more. And if halfway doesn't do the job, I'll go ahead and close the lever all the way. But as you can see, I'm using a lot of the corner of my blade, especially in the corner of his nape area, and that's because his hair starts to grow sideways. Now right above that, we're going to do our two guard lever open. Now this will be the biggest guard that we're going to use. So with this guard, I'm not really establishing a line. I'm flaring out as much as possible towards the top of this taper, trying to stay below that bone that sticks out in the back. That's called the occipital bone. Making sure that I comb and brush as I cut. Now right under that, we're going to come in with our 1.5 open, and at this point we're blending down. So I'm starting off open, and then you'll see me gradually start to close that lever as needed. And then right there I closed up that lever, and we're just working at it. And that 1.5 couldn't quite do the job all the way, so I went back to my one guard open, really using the corner of my blade to get into those dark spots and detail this blend a little more. Now to blend into the curls on top, I'm going to do a little clipper over comb, not too much here, just coming in with that comb and flaring out slightly. And now we're going to bald out the bottom of this taper with our trimmer, right, making sure that I don't go too high with our trimmer, and make another line. And it's really starting to come together. And I'll say even add another layer of blend to this taper. We're going to take it closer to the skin with our shaver. And now we're going to go to the side taper. Now with the side taper, we're going to do the same thing, creating our line at the end of his eyebrow and where the ear connects to the head. And then we're going to go ahead and bald this out. Now we're going to go lever open on our magic clip, going up about a finger's width like I just showed you. And on the side of the head, when I do a taper, you'll see I use a lot more corner of the blade, and that's because it's such a small area that we are working with. Now I went ahead and closed that lever, and I'm coming in closed, and as I move up, you'll see me gradually start to open up this lever. Now we're going to come in with our one guard lever open, doing the same thing. Now we're just going up little by little, and you want to make sure that you're brushing and combing as you cut, because when you're cutting against the grain, it tends to push the hair upwards and not allow it to lay in its natural direction. So you want to make sure you're always laying it down back in place. Now to get rid of the line in between, I'm going to come in with my half guard halfway. And just like we did on the back, if halfway doesn't do the job, we'll go ahead and close it. Then we're going to follow that up with our 2 guard lever open. Again, the biggest guard that we are using. And with this, we're trying to deep walk and create shape. So you see me flare out kind of drastically towards the top of this taper. Now to get rid of the line in between, I'm going to come in with my half guard lever open. And then we'll gradually go ahead and close this lever as needed as well. And as you can see, this taper is starting to come together here on the side. And since the 1.5 wasn't doing the job, I went back to my 1 guard once again. Opening and closing as needed, seeing what works and what doesn't to get this taper as blurry as possible. And when doing my tapers, I always like to do the lining as well. So I want to start at the top of the arch and then go to the bottom and meet those 2 points in the middle. Trying to keep it as natural as we can, and then we're going to detail a little more. I think lining up a fade or a taper helps bring out those imperfections that you might need to go back and detail. So that's why I line it up right after I do it. And now for the beard, all it is just a reverse taper to blend into it. Now for behind the ear, I'm going to debulk doing some clipper over comb. And this helps when you're scared to take off too much with the guard. So now we're going to comb those hairs down and line up his nape. So I started at the bottom, and then I'm going to work my way towards the top. And he has naturally very high arches around his ears, so I'm just following that. And then I'm going to meet those 2 points in the middle. And as you can see, this just makes the taper pop. Now we're going to do the taper on the other side. Now with the taper on the other side, we're going to do the same steps that we did with the back and his left side. So I'm going to let you guys follow along here, not do too much explaining. But what I am going to talk about is my last 2 videos on the channel. If you guys haven't checked them out already, I suggest you do. They're both vlogs, right? Because recently I got blessed with the opportunity to go back to my old barber school and teach a class there, as well as go to Dallas and teach my first class that's not a barber school there as well. And I think the vlogs that we put together for those trips were super dope. So if you haven't checked them out already, I suggest you do. It'll give you more behind the scenes of how, a day in my life goes, and you guys get to see a little bit more of my personality. But if you guys haven't checked them out already, I suggest you do. But let's get back to this, man. So right here, we're just going in with the 1.5, and the 1.5 didn't fully get rid of it, so I have my 1 guard open. But yeah, fam, if you guys ever want to bring me out to your city or area to teach a class, hit me in my DMs on Instagram, shoot me an email, and let's set something up, man, because I enjoy being able to meet you guys in person, and I enjoy being able to teach a class as well. That's something I look to do more of. So if you want to bring me out, man, hit me up, and I will try my best to make it work. So now we're going to line up at the top of his ear. And now we're going to go to the bottom and meet those 2 points in the middle. And the lining acts as the framework to the entire haircut, so you want to make sure you get this as clean as possible. And so far, this taper is looking super tough. And now for this arch, I forgot to record it, so I'm just showing you how I'm detailing a little bit. Now we're going to start in the middle of his lineup and move towards his right side, trying to keep it as natural as possible, but like I always say, at the same time getting it as crispy as possible as well. And a lot of those hairs that were overhanging in the front are kind of those, exactly that, really, not bangs, but they're overhanging hairs that lay over his natural hairline. So what you want to do is get rid of those, right? This is not a pushback for all the YouTube trolls out there. We're just getting rid of all the overhanging hairs. And with this cut, we are going to use some enhancement. So I'm going to use my airbrush, which is my Kiss Express and alcohol mix, and then my Ashawn Cuts hair card. And I'm spraying on lightly, right? Trying to keep it as natural looking as I can. I'm just trying to darken up those light spots and make this hairline as perfect as possible. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. It's coming out super clean. Now we're gonna get into his beard. Right now for the beard, we're not gonna do too much. He wants to keep the length on it, so I'm just lining up, you know, the back and the bottom, being careful not to take the back in too much, because a lot of barbers like to get, you know, the back of the beard really sharp, but you always want to follow the natural line so his beard doesn't grow back crazy. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And when the top of someone's beard is really light, lining up the bottom of the beard as sharp as you can will really make his beard look a lot fuller. So that's what I'm trying to do right here, since the top of his beard isn't as dense. Now we're going to get into the straight razor on the hairline. So we're pulling this skin in the opposite direction of which we are using the razor, and that's going to allow us to prevent you know, us from cutting him or causing any irritation. And we're just trying to get this haircut to pop even more, right? And my straight razor is a Faded Culture Turkish razor blade. Shout out Faded Culture. If you want to cop one, make sure you go to their website and cop it. Now for the beard, we're going to start at the top of the beard and work our way towards the bottom, trying to keep it as high as possible even though his beard is light. Now we're going to brush away that initial ash line and then reline it, so we ensure we get the sharpest line possible. Same thing on the other side, but on this side we're starting at the bottom, and then we're going to go to the top and meet those 2 points in the middle. Brush away that ash line and then get right back to it. And now we're just adding the last minute details, like lining up his mustache. But I think this cut came out super fire. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Now we're going to come in with the razor. But fam, this is the cut. The nice taper into the curls with the beard. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And drop a comment down below, man. But like always, I will catch you guys next time.